Shades of Rock showing that, man. A lot of weird behaviors here.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement.
Whoa.
Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
That's sketchy. I got 4 other kids.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Hopefully it talks about a Rambler. Creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as... Yeah. Talk about crazy shit. Ramblers and such. Human anatomy. About anatomy.
A strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
That barely validated.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where blood? Seems like amateur work. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. To whom does this footprint belong?
Cat? No, not cat. catch any more clues. So like go over here, over here, over here. Places that don't make sense. Gas back here.
What killed all these animals?
Sheesh.
What sort of what happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
I wonder what it looks like now. Nope, it's definitely not 666.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Can we just take them?
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Okay.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Has 1,000 other horrors.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Warnings. What not to run into.
An old diary.
Worship a strange pagan entity with a monster. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in the vain he was convinced he listened to. Blah blah blah, he went crazy.
Things are not looking good. A kind of chalice. That Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them. Another volume by Arkham Editions. Things are not looking good.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Well then. I don't know what to do.
So these are the volumes that Drake was... What did Drake say about this collection?
We didn't know what
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Professor Armitage? Damn it.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their...
The Queen
dark
has little
soldiers.
protection.
I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
IX 1908.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
1908.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection?
it's not 1908.
The Queen has little protection.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine. And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold.
That's gotta be from the same book.
Drake talked about a so these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Legendary philosopher.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his
I
message.
think that one's 6.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
What is it? Chalice?
The Chalice of Knowledge.
Okay. I've had enough of this. Ow. Guess it just mine from this grave. Okay. I'll do some Jimmy Neutron brainstorming. Okay. You know, we could do all the nonsense, but it's just not. The reason being, the first thing that means red stones in the chalice in the opposite room. Pick up the gold cup and rotate around. This one's annoying because the angle of your team looks like they're only 4 losers, but they're actually 5. The second stone means white soldiers. Here, check on this, and you'll see the volume 9 in the series. Oh, that was volume 9. Alright. Look at his power. Totally found the Necronomicon.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down, his skin losing its color, his body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. After inhaling chemicals.
I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
What's going on?
Look at
here?
these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
His limbs? His body temperature? I don't know what experiments you've undertaken, but this is going too far.
Oh, I sense some excitement beneath your indignation. Could it be you wish to join me in my scientific endeavors?
You are a brilliant physician, Dr. Fuller, but this man has the attributes of some kind of animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office. What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Gotta save the day.
Mrs. Sanders? He broke his back in an accident down by the docks. Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Dr. Colden. Dr. Colden, we need you at once in Dormitory B.
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be having trouble with his IV.
I've done an exam. Deborah is looking after him.
And the family of Mrs. Harding is asking to see her medical file.
I'll never understand why it's so hard to see patients' files around here.
Rules are rules. See, with Dr. Fuller, he's in charge. Anyhow, they're still waiting, and I don't think they'll leave until they get what they want.
Understood. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. A man has been brought up from the basement.
Oh. What state is he in now?
You should go see for yourself, Doctor.
This man, Edward Pierce. His file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
Let's hope I can go through the administration office.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
Jeez.
Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into But rest assured.
That will...
I will...
Everybody says it. She's a witch. An old
Elizabeth? You all right?
Because in the water... I had to...
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
Jeez.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan.
Listen to
We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks.
naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh, well. At least we won't have to clean for a while.
The door to the boiler room is locked. I have to get the key if I wish to get rid of Donovan. Let's hope I can go through the administration office. The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
Doctor, those people need you at the dormitory.
Would you know where the key to the boiler room is?
Betty didn't put it back in its place. Well, she took it to lock the door.
I'll ask her. Thank you.
But if I may say so, Doctor, I think that the problems of our patients are more urgent than the plumbing.
I'll tend to it. Don't worry.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
Do you want something? Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
You've given him adequate care. There's nothing else we can do.
You sure?
Positive. Just make sure he doesn't lose any more weight.
Well, you're the doctor, after all.
Dr. Colden?
Hello, Betty. I'm looking for the key to the boiler room.
What for?
To put it in its place. Perhaps I should do the same with you.
I beg your pardon?
I suspect you of having a little too much fun at Elizabeth's expense. But be warned, it could easily be you they will all be laughing at tomorrow.
You are right, Doctor. The key is in the dormitory office in Block B.
Thank you. I shall go fetch it.
Well, then.
The door to the boiler room is locked. I have to get the key if I wish to get rid of Donovan.
Door. Oh,
the boiler room key is not in its place. Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him. The door to the boiler room is locked. I have to get the key if I wish to get rid of Donovan. The operating room is never accessible after an operation. Let's hope I can go through the administration office.
And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so... Everything all right, Dr.
All is well.
Thank God, no. The water's running. I have...
Come now. Don't let that witch sap your morale.
I'm trying. Sometimes...
Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
Alright, she's nice. You gotta help her.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly. The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
Dr. Colden?
Help. What? To put it in...
I beg...
But be warned.
You...
Thank you. The key to the boiler room.
Fine.
All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait. can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
Damn. Okay.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation. Let's hope I can go through the administration office. I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
Damn, like what kind of tool?
The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
Let's hope I can go through the administration office. The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
I think that you're needed in Block B, Doctor.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
It's a quiet little town. Days go by.
I'm gonna do this in another chapter.
I wanted
Into
more
chapter.
for myself.